It has been a while, bloody hell. Right, so I'm just going to try and make this short and snappy because I always like to absolutely waffle. I can't stay in the UK. I cannot stay in one place. And the reason I've realised that over the past few months, if anything, I've been on like a journey of finding myself whilst I've been back in the UK after South America. What I did was I left South America early after 2 months after doing Colombia and Peru, purely because I was missing home. I thought I was ready to settle. Traveling got all a bit too much because South America is intense. I'm not gonna lie, it's not, it's not all roses and daisies like Southeast Asia is. It's intense stuff. It is intense, and it just got all a bit too much for me. And I just thought, I'll come home, get a car, settle, whatever. But I've been trying to find work. I've been trying to settle. I've been trying to get in, find myself the past few months here in the UK, which is ironic because you usually do that traveling. But it turns out all I needed was just some time here, just staying still in one place, just to realise what I need. And I don't even know, like, majority of people on here probably don't even care about this, and I also don't want to make it like me, but I'm just putting it out there just because I want to get it off my chest, and also just because I don't know, I'm not trying to act like a content creator, because I'm not. I've literally got like 300 followers on it. But just an update for people. This is more of an update for me, really. It's just for me to look back and be like, that's a day where I had an epiphany, where I realised, kind of, I don't know, it's just like when the weather's like this in the UK, like blue skies, warm, I'm outside, chilling. Sounds weird, right? It sounds proper hippie. But I'm out here chilling with my feet out, barefoot, top off, like in the sun, and it makes me realise this is where I want to be, like permanently. Not in the UK, but like in this kind of setting. Like, I need this. This is what I need. I always feel my best, which is kind of a stupid thing to say because obviously everyone's going to feel their best on a nice summer day when all they're doing is sitting around doing nothing. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, okay, that sounds obvious, and some people will say, well, you can't have that all the time. You need to work. You need to do this and that and that. Yes, you do, to an extent. But also, I don't accept that. Maybe that makes me entitled. That might make me entitled. I don't know. Maybe it does. But I don't really care if it does. Because that's just how I feel. Like, and I'm just like, past few days I've been realising I want to leave again. But this time, like, permanently. I'm talking permanently leave. Permanently be a traveller, be a wanderer. If that makes me a gypsy or a hippie, hell yeah, I'll be one of them. I'm starting to realise, I'm starting to, understand why those groups of people exist. That way of life maybe is just more suited to me. Just like it might be more suited to some of you. I still follow loads of people who I'm travelling who are seem to be permanently travelling. Maybe not permanently, but they're long-term travelling. They're making a thing out of it, it's part of their life, and it's what I want. Obviously, it's not sustainable. If you just, if you leave with, let's say, £15,000, that's going to run out at some point, isn't it? Like, obviously it's not sustainable long-term for anybody. But that's why you need to find ways, projects or income sources in order to be able to do it full time. And that's what I'm going to start exploring the next few months whilst I'm in the UK. It sounds cringy, it sounds really cliche, but I mean, the whole travel flipping subculture is cliche and cringe. It is, but I'm happy to be part of it. I don't care. Like, it's an amazing thing to do, to experience when you're young, especially. And I just realised that life is too short. We cannot just, again, it is an entitled kind of spoiled, greedy attitude to have, because most people just get on with their 9 to 5, and you know what, fair play, I wish I could do that. And that's a much less entitled way of living, I think, because you're just having a humble living, but for me, I can't do that. I've realised that honestly I could leave everything tomorrow and I'll move to some jungle or some beach, and all I need is a little cabin to sleep in, catch my own fish, as long as the weather's nice all year round. Even if it rains, fair enough, but like, nice weather all year round where it's hot, at least. Get myself a little dirt bike, a little pickup truck or something. That's all I need. That's all I need. And again, maybe that makes me sound entitled, and maybe I say that's all I need, but that's actually quite a lot compared to what most people have. I know it is, but I don't know. I'm waffling. I am waffling. And basically what I did was I turned my TikTok account into like a motorbike one, because motorbikes are like my passion. It's my one thing that keeps me going when I'm like, I am doing, you know, work and normal life in the UK. Motorbikes are one thing that make me de-stress and give me a sense of freedom, a bit like traveling does. So I made my TikTok account into that, trying to make an income source out of that, but also out of enjoyment. But I'll be honest, it is to purely try and make an income source so then I can travel. And one of my plans was potentially buy a cheap motorbike, do it up as a project, post about it, gain some traction, and then set off on a motorbike journey across the world. That was kind of my plan, and my plan was to hit every single country in the world and to try and break the world record for hitting every country in the world on a motorbike, where you have to do a minimum a certain amount of miles within each country in order to break the record. That's a plan I've got. Now that is ambitious, don't get me wrong, that's very ambitious. That takes a lot of money, that takes a lot of time, a lot of planning. That will take, and I'm talking like getting news channels on board, getting sponsors, you know, going to interviews on places like Good Morning Britain and stuff to make it gain traction. This is my long-term goal, potentially. That's one of them. The other one is I really want to get into DJing. I love music. I've always loved, obviously everyone loves music, that's a silly thing to say, I love music, but I really love music. And I really love like D&B, jungle, reggae, house, trance, techno. I know that's a lot of genres, but all of those sort of like dance genres that I would associate with summertime and that I would associate with traveling and stuff like that. I've always loved those genres, and I would love, like, I've always wanted to be able to be the DJ that plays them. And I've got so many ideas in my head about doing like you know, DJing in hostels and DJing on beaches, and even getting a van and making it into like a DJ deck, booths in the back of it, and tour. I've got so many ideas, which might not end up coming to fruition because I might try my hand at DJing and be crap. But that's another thing I'd love to try, and I've got so many ideas that can link in with travel that would be an income source, which mean I can travel, would also be things that I can document on social media for myself, but also as an additional income source, and also means I would be able to travel whilst also having a job, whilst also doing something I enjoy, etc, etc. There's so many things, and I know all of this is very selfish stuff I'm talking about, you know, it's all things to do with me, but I just want to put it out there, because if I put it out there as well, then I'll definitely follow through with it, probably, because then I've got no excuses. They're two, that motorbike travel one and the DJing travel one, they're two massive projects that I would love to be able to do. I think it's either one or the other, to be honest, but I'm going to try my hand at the DJ one first, just because that one's easier, and then we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I just would love to be able to host my own raves and things whilst traveling. I think that would be so sick. There's nothing crazy new, that's basically like touring, but it's not touring. Like, it wouldn't be because people come to see me, it would just be like, I'm talking like pop-up raves on Byron Bay in Australia, or like, I don't know, like a pop-up bay in Koh Tao in Thailand, something like that. Which, these are all things that will need licensing and blah 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 blah, but think about those later. These are just like ideas, silly ideas in my head right now. The other main reason, and one of the biggest obstacles in my life that has stopped me doing a lot of things, is how I feel about myself and like my insecurities and I've always been a very self-conscious person, very I'm very self-aware, but to the point where it gets unhealthy. There's been a lot of things in my life that have triggered that, blah blah blah, won't get into it, but and one of the biggest things for me, which has actually stopped me traveling and has stopped me doing other things in life, is the fact that I'm not confident in myself. I'm not confident walking around with my shirt off, which you might not believe because I've always got my shirt off, but I'm not, and that stopped me a lot. Like when I've been traveling, like I'm not comfortable going on beaches topless. Like I do it, but like I'm in my, like on the outside everyone's like, oh, he's just topless, but in my head I'm battling like crazy, and that's something that has really held me back. And one of the reasons I left South America early was also because I felt like my fitness was just really going down the drain, because I wasn't sleeping right, I wasn't eating right whilst I was traveling, just because it's difficult to, especially in a continent like South America where it's very intense. and my body was just getting more and more lethargic and blur, which made me feel more and more crap about myself, which meant I wasn't really comfortable like talking to new people and things like that. And traveling, one of the biggest things, especially when you're doing it solo, is talking to new people. That's one of the biggest things. So the fact that I didn't feel like I could do that anymore really like put down on my travels, and that was another reason why I left early. So what I'm going to do, like I'm going to the gym, I'm eating good. That's what I'm doing at the moment whilst I'm in the UK, and that's what I'll continue to do. And then I think what I did before when I went travelling was I would build up to going travelling by going to the gym whilst I'm in the UK and eating good, and then getting to a point where I feel like I'm confident. Then I'd leave to travel, but I wouldn't continue working out and eating well during my travels. So then it would just be a constant spiral of I feel good about myself, I leave to travel, whilst I travel I end up resenting travelling because I get unfit. So then I come back early, I get fit again, leave to the next place to travel, but then I don't continue the fitness whilst I'm travelling, so then it's a constant spiral. I don't know if that makes sense, but what I want to do next time I travel is continue going to the gym, continue eating well whilst I'm travelling, because these things can be done together. It's just, you know, it's just kind of time consuming and blah blah blah, but for me, in order to be healthy in myself mentally and physically, that's what I need to do. So yeah, that's my goal. Kind of. That's like the very long-winded goal. Don't really know how I was going to post this. I was going to put it on an Instagram story. I was going to put it on an Instagram story, but I've realised I've spoken for 12 minutes. So I might put it on my YouTube, which I've not posted in ages. And it is always going to be a portrait video, which is crap on YouTube, but still, I don't know where else to put it. Also, I'm aware that I might get like 2 views, and neither of those 2 views will probably watch the whole thing, but this is just more for me, just because it's more for me. And then you can go, well, why are you putting it publicly then? Because if I put it publicly and people do see it, I'm just like more inclined to follow through with the things I'm saying. And also, it's, even though I know not many people are going to watch this, if I say it publicly and post it publicly, it feels like it's kind of like my therapist almost. It's like I'm getting it off my chest. Whereas if I just like say these things to myself, I don't know how to explain it. It's difficult to explain, but I just feel like it's healthy for me to put this out publicly, if that makes sense. Don't really know how to explain it why, but yeah, I don't know. I'm proper bipolar, because in 2 days' time, I guarantee I'm going to be sitting at home going like, oh, I can't be bothered to do anything, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, maybe it's just the sun making me feel like this. I don't know, but do I regret leaving South America early? Yes, I do. Do I think it was necessary? Yes. Am I glad I did, even though I regret it? Yes, because if I didn't, I wouldn't have found myself over these past couple of months and realised what I need to do in life and stuff. Yeah, so basically I'm just going through a journey of self-discovery. So cringe, but it's true though. It's cringe stuff, but it's profound, true stuff, I guess. But hey, I can't really complain about my life, to be honest. As much as, you know, I do, I have so far had an amazing life. When I look back, the fact I've been able to travel, not even away from traveling, I've done so many amazing things. However, I've reached a stalemate where these past 6 months have been probably the most boring average 6 months of my life, and they've made me realise I don't want my whole life to be like that, because the way I've been living the past 6 months is a normal life that most people lead, but I don't want that. I think that makes me ambitious. I think it does make me slightly entitled and greedy, but I think you have to be a little bit in order to get somewhere in life, because if you don't have that drive, which can be seen as entitled and greedy, then you're not going to care about being more. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Hey, I might look back at this in a couple of years, and whilst I'm sat in my 9-to-5 office job that I'm stuck in for the rest of my life, with a mortgage on a house, paying finance off on a car with 2 kids. So like, this might not even go to plan. You never know what's going to happen in life. You never know who you're going to meet, who you're going to marry, what's going to happen. You never know. But yeah, that's my plan. So stay tuned. I'm acting like I'm a content creator. No, but like, just if you care, if you are interested in any of those projects I mentioned, hit me up, send me a message. I'd love to hear from people. Like, there's so many people I travelled with or met travelling who I've not spoken to since I did. Part of that is because I'm not scared to reach out, but I don't want to reach out and, you know, like, if they don't want to talk to me, but also, and nah, screw it, I will reach out. I should reach out. If I want to reach out, I should reach out. But also, you reach out. Like, if it's someone, you know, who we met in my travels, we travelled together, anyone, reach out. I want to chat. I want to see how you are. Like, I'm intrigued. Like, people who go travelling are interesting people. You have to be a bit loopy. Nobody I met travelling was a boring person. Everyone was interesting. So I'd love to hear where you are in life right now and what you're doing, how you are. So yeah, if you've watched this far, hit me up and we can chat. If you want to be part of one of those projects, I welcome you with open arms. And, you know, there's a few people, you know, traveling does it, or it also opens up a lot of connections. So, you know, if there's people who feel like they could help with those 2 projects that I've got in mind, hit me up as well. Yeah, anyway, that's it. I'm gonna go enjoy the sunshine because it's so nice and sunny. Oh, it makes me happy. Vitamin D is the elixir of life. I'm telling you, it actually is. I'm convinced. Anyway, yeah, stay tuned, and I will be, I don't know when you next hear from me. It might be a few months, it might be a few weeks, it might be a year, I don't know, but things are going to happen. Things are happening. Just, they're happening in here right now, and I need to put them in the reality. I need to get them out of here into reality and put things in place to make them happen. So yeah, au revoir, adios, ciao. What else do I know? I know other languages, but I can't remember. Bye.